Elden Ring is notorious for many things: tough boss fights, a massive open world, and famously calling out all of its player base for being maidenless and getting no bid. There is one maiden in the lands between that is on your side, and that is Melina. Normally, Melina meets with you, the Tarnished. She offers her accord, and you accept as she helps you slay your enemies on the path to the Elden Throne. But what if Melina didn't need the Tarnished? What if Melina could do it herself? That's exactly what we're here to find out. In this challenge run, we had Melina play as herself to see if she could beat all the main bosses in Elden Ring and beat the game. In the game, there is one instance where the Tarnished can usually summon Melina to help in the fight against Morgoth. As a summon, she is given the Blade of Calling for her weapon and the Traveler set for her armor. This is what Melina will be using for the entirety of this run. Now, this weapon is not particularly strong, and its primary scaling stat is Faith, as it deals holy damage, which, if you know Elden Ring, you know is the worst damage type in the game because of how heavily the late game bosses resist holy damage. Needless to say, this is not a weapon that is going to be outputting tons of DPS. It does have an interesting Ash of War, essentially being a holy damage version of the Black Knife Blade of Death Ash of War. But that's about it for the setup, so without further ado, I'll send things over to Melina to take you through the run.
Hello there, Tarnished. Today, we're going to be doing an Elden Ring challenge run where I, Melina, shall be completing the game all by myself, using the exact build that you have seen me use in the game if you have played with me before. And it should be a fun run to get through the game without the help of the Tarnished, who really needs you at the end of the day. All you can really do is die over and over again. So what we have here is we are starting with the Confessor class, as that gives us most of the necessary stats that we need to wield my weapon, and it just gives us the easiest path to starting the game the way we would like to make sure we don't have any hitches. And there you have it, Tarnished. We are now prepared to do my run. So, I hope you shall enjoy. Off we go.
Editing Pinecone here. So I didn't explain that I had to cheat engine in Melina's weapon and armor set because both of them are fairly late game items, so it would be pretty much impossible to do 70% of the run without cheat engineering in those items at the beginning. So I just figured it was better to have the weapon right at the start as opposed to attempting to play through some of the game without the weapon.
So obviously what we have here is the Blade of Calling. That is our weapon of choice. It is a dagger, very similar to the daggers that the Black Knives have. However, instead of doing the Destined Death effect, it has an effect that deals holy damage, as that is what the weapon primarily scales with, in fact. So it is a depth split scales between physical and holy damage, primarily, with its largest scaling factor being the Faith. Which is one of the reasons we start with the Confessor class, because Confessor gives us the most dex and faith to be able to nearly meet requirements without needing any other investment. So the first thing we must do, Tarnished, is get ourselves set up to be able to pretty much do anything. So we will go get the generally useful items first. which obviously includes getting torrents from, let's say, my twin sister. Have you heard they serve, but you yes, it is like looking in the mirror, tarnished. It is a little bit unsettling. Use it. It will summon torrent. Treat him with alas, it must be done to progress at all. So the first few things we'd grab are the physic flask and the tier we put in it, which will be the faith tier at first. And then what we'll be doing is getting into Liurnia by sneaking around Stormvale Castle. This is important because there are things we need to get in Liurnia first before we can begin fighting bosses like Margit. And so the other thing we must grab in Liurnia is the dexterity tier. That will complete our set for the faith and dex. And then we move on with that to go take Alexander and do some not very nice things to him. I'm sorry, Alexander, you are a great friend and warrior, but I'm afraid your time was up. So we grab the cookbook for sleep pots, which we will need later, and then we visit EG in Liurnia in order to get our first upgrades for our weapon. And so this now takes us back to the Third Church of Marika, where we can access the Waygate that will bring us to Dragon Barrow, as there are things that we will need to set up here. And while we are here, we will go and cheese the Knight's Cavalry for his 40-some thousand runes, which can give us easy free levels, and also guarantee that we can get our upgrade to our weapon. We will upgrade our flask as we have time right now. And then we shall go to Nightfall and attempt to cheese the Knight's Cav, as many do. So we must get his attention. Hello, sir. We have his attention. We must get him over here. And there we go. So, now, we can get a few free levels, obviously. I say we get Vigor to 20. We can even meet our requirements for our weapon, which only needs one more of each of these stats. So we might as well do that, because my plan is to actually go get a different crystal tier for our damage. We will also increase our endurance a couple of points. And at that point then we just level back to Vigor. Now we will keep 10,000 runes to ensure that we can go purchase EG's upgrades. So now we can wield our weapon without the crystal tears. But the smithing stone fall. So now that we are here across Liurnia, we are making our way to the Erdtree Avatar here in the Old Palace ruins, because he will drop the Holy Damage crystal tier, and that will be the main crystal tier that we use for this run. A bit of creative platforming, I can make it up to the area where the Erdtree Avatar is. It is quite annoying because there are many of these ancestral followers in the area. The best way to deal with them, I have found, is to actually let the Erdtree kill them himself when they get near and he does one of his AoE attacks. Such as that one. Now we have him kill these other guys, so that they're not in my way. Just like that. And, of course, we somehow get caught by that attack, which is rather unfortunate. I don't want to blame my frame drops, but did seem to be an issue. And there we go, Tarnished. That took far too many tries, if I'm being honest. But alas, as I said, the ancestral followers around here are relentless. See, the good thing about this weapon, Tarnished, is that it does have quite the range on the Ash of War. Which means it is easy to poke from a distance, get damage off, and then close. When he does a gap closer. And one more hit should do it, Tarnished. We'll finish him off with the Ash of War. It is quite cool. I do like my weapon for that purpose. Some may say it's a bit extra. But frankly, I just think it's fun. To kill things in style. Isn't that what you're all about, Tarnished, anyway? But we get through it without much problem at all. No, we can try fighting Godric here. This should not be too bad. Be sure to take our physic. And we can poke him from long range right away. We seem to have lost our brains once again. That was unfortunate. Once again, we poke from range and we do very significant damage. We can't seem to dodge that, I believe, because of my frame drops. I am unable to hit that properly. But we shall finish him off here. No problem at all. Oh boy. Not ideal. We will not be fighting our friend Moongrum. Because frankly, I don't want to. I don't care for Moongrum. Oh, he didn't die. Ah, he finally fell. Thank goodness. Okay, this is probably going to be a recycle fight, unfortunately. We just simply don't have that much damage. Ah, that was unfortunate.
Come, sweetings. Time to play the ring.
Okay, thankfully this should be the last cycle here. Okay, we can't really trade like that with the amount of health flasks we have. We do not want to get killed by the summon. And she's throwing another moon at us. That hurts.
Thy fate lieth
Well, oh, that is unfortunate, Tarnished. Well, if she can stop running away from me, it would be much easier. Oh, that is quite unfortunate, Tarnished.
Thy fate lieth under Come, O throne dragon. Come, O throne giant.
And there we go, Tarnished. See, all we had to do is be a little bit more patient, avoid her very annoying spam attacks, and then it's not so bad. I will say it was an unexpected challenge, but respect Queen Renala. She was a mighty queen at one point. So with Renala and Godric defeated, and the Dectus medallions in hand, we are able to take the grand lift to Altus. And while we are here, we are simply going to grab a Grace, because that will unlock Radahn's arena back in Caelid. Now the reason we are back in Radahn's arena is not to fight Radahn, but instead to grab the Somber Stone 5 that is here, that will give us an upgrade, and then make our way to Mount Gelmir, in which to grab the Somber Stone 6 to get us another upgrade. And finally, we talk to Enya and buy the longbow from her, and start to attempt the Draconic Tree Sentinel. I say attempting because normally when you do this cheese, you have a weapon that can actually hit the poise break in just a couple of hits. But unfortunately, our dagger does not have very high poise value damage, so him to actually fall off in the right amount of time seems unlikely. Now we see if we can actually get the proc. Unfortunately, we did not. It would appear we just have to kill him outright. So that is what we shall do. It was a good attempt, Tarnished, but unfortunately, we do not have the physical attributes necessary. That is a little unfortunate. Well, that's not good, Tarnished. Not good at all, not good at all. Our damage is actually not bad. So this is, in fact, more doable than I would have imagined. And one more hit should do it, Tarnished. That wasn't so bad. He truly wanted to just hit us with fireballs the whole time, and so we ended up making it a ranged fight. But thankfully the Ash of War on my dagger is pretty good, and so it made for an effective weapon. In a ranged battle, it has a deceptively long range, what you would think is a medium to short range Ash of War, but I was able to keep my distance quite consistently. Ah, yes, my twin is coming to speak with us again. Uncanny, is it not? Well, you shouldn't doubt us, because we are the same, and I do indeed have faith in my... And now here we are able to grab our Somber Stone 7, our Somber Stone 8, and our Somber Stone 9, and nearly get all went to max level. And our next stop will be Godfrey. However, there is one thing we have neglected to do so far on this run, and that is use a great rune. So, what we are going to do is go and activate Godric's great rune. And here we are to restore the great rune. Alright, let's get out of the corner, Godfrey. And there we go, first try. And of course, if you didn't know, you would be able to summon my twin right here. However, this is a solo mission for just one Melina. So we shall see how this goes, Tarnished. We must move away from that attack. Oh, that is very unfortunate, Tarnished. That wasn't a bad first attempt. However, it is clear that he can hit us quite hard, and his second phase does not give us as many openings for our Ash of War. I can't believe that hit me. I can't believe that hit me. Well, that was close yet again, Tarnished. A couple of hits that didn't quite go our way, but this is definitely a very doable fight. Tarnished, I'm not going to lie to you. Right there, I believe we just blew it at the end. had quite literally almost no HP. He had 1, maybe 2 hits left.
Stained by my curse, such shame I cannot bear. Thy part in this shall not be forgiven.
Finally tarnished. I knew we would get him. He was quite the obstacle, as I had predicted. Given our lack of range and his mobility, it was inevitable that it would be a rather difficult fight. So I would say it went as about expected. However, I do believe I could have played less poorly in some of the earlier attempts. And so, after speaking with my twin Melina again, she gives us access to the rolled medallion, which takes us up to the mountaintop of the giants. Here, we simply make a beeline straight to our next objective, which is the fire giant. And there is our big friend. Now let's see the damage. Actually pretty good. It is surprisingly good damage. It helps that he is for once not an enemy resistant to holy damage. Ah, that is unfortunate. I got stuck between the fire. He should be close to being in his second phase. Very close, in fact. There it is. Now all we have to do is remain safe. Stay at a safe distance and try to hit the hands when we can. Okay, Tarnished, this is not going too badly. Oh no! Well, that was quite unfortunate. It was such a good run too, but alas, we were not able to get some decent RNG at the end, unfortunately. But that's alright. We will try again. Very lucky again. A little bit more, Tarnished. We are almost there. And there we go, Tarnished finally. What an excruciating fight. Excruciating. I truly had to lock in and focus up in order to not get hit by literally anything. And we talked to my twin for one last time.
This world and death, are you prepared to commit? Very well. Let my hand rest upon you for but a moment.
Well, we know what happens here. Not to worry, that's not part of our plan this time. We have made it. We will now complete our mission on our own. See how this goes, Tarnished. I do fear that this will be quite the challenge, as it tends to be. Okay, they are asleep. So now we can take them out one by one, hopefully. Of course, he hit me right at the end. And now the other one woke up, so we might want to put him back to sleep. Oh, that is unfortunate. So the plan right now is to just kite them around as much as humanly possible. And it's very difficult when they are both attacking me from multiple ranges. Every time with the same attack, he hits me with that. This is not going well, Tarnished, I will be honest with you. I can't keep trading damage with, those attacks, quite frankly. There's nothing I can do about that. But I don't know how else to deal damage. That is rather unbelievable. Yep. So I no longer have a plan to deal with this. And while I continued to struggle, I would actually end for that day and rethink my strategy for the next day. I would eventually come to the conclusion that I would have to farm up more materials for sleep pots and bring them back into the fight the next day. And that is what I did. Oh, well, that was unfortunate. I hit the other one. But it immediately put him back to sleep, so I guess that works. Okay, now once again, we ask for Steely. He arrives. No matter, we sleep in. We get our riposte. And now we wait one more time for our final god skin. Put him to sleep. And now we should be able to finish this, Tarnished. Finally. This was a much better strategy. And there you have it. The Godskin duo, no problem at all. All we needed was those sleep pots to give us the extra advantage and help us isolate the 1v1s in the fight. Just to give us that final upgrade that we have been waiting for our weapon. Now we shall see how our weapon does against Malekith. Our lack of range will make this quite troubling, I fear. Yes, as I feared, our holy damage does very little damage. I'm very confused at how we are getting hit by that strafing attack. So our damage has truly fallen off here against Beast Clergyman. He is quite resistant to holy damage. Yes, this is not going to be easy, I fear. Before attempting Malekith again, we made a quick pit stop to grab the winged sword talisman, which helps us with our dagger as we do multiple hits at a time, which will give us a good attack boost. Okay, we got him to half. Now, the Malekith part fight starts. Oh no. Oh, that is so unfortunate, Tarnished. I forgot about the follow-up explosion on the ground, and so I didn't, and that put us in a very precarious situation. Okay? I did not want him to do the explosion attack, but I was too close and I couldn't get out of the way. We did it, Tarnished. Finally! We took back destined death, as we were always meant to. That was quite the fight, Tarnished, but we really nailed it in the end. So here I decided it was a good time to use all of the remembrances that we have saved up, spend them, and get as many levels as we can for the final gauntlet of fights that we were about to go up against, starting first with Gideon.
And here you'd come to stand before the Elden Ring, to become Elden Lord, to set the state of affairs, and commend your spirit, but alas, she'll take the throne. Queen Marquez our helps for us, that we continue to struggle unto eternity. My fellow, you've fought well until now.
That is quite unfortunate. We almost had him, but he was able to get off one too many attacks right there. It can stun lock him, but we have to be able to actually hit him if he doesn't dodge, which usually means it has to be right at the beginning of an attack animation.
Until now. I know in my bones a tarnished
Oh, I did it.
become a lord.
Incredible. I finally managed to kill him. I just spammed the Ash of War and he did manage to work. The timing worked out. He was in a corner. He couldn't dodge. Gideon, you are a fucking disgrace. That is all I have to say. I hate Gideon with every fiber of my being. There is no man in the lands between that I hate more than Gideon. Good riddance. And we get a nice riposte here. And another riposte to take us into the second half. Oh, that was unfortunate. I went into my loading screen by accident. That was not supposed to be the case. Okay, that was very unlucky. I got caught in my loading screen for some reason. Or rather the equipment screen. And it caused us to get comboed. That never should have happened. It would have been a much different start to that fight. So we will discount that as an unlucky error. And there was a perfect poise to start the half. That is very good. Oh no, how did we get grabbed? I could have sworn I dodged there. All right, Tarnished, there we go. He caught us a little bit at the end with those grabs yet again. We were just a little bit late after healing. But we did it ultimately, and it wasn't even too much of a problem, I would say. And this is what we'll be ending the game with. So, here we go. The final fight. Well, that is unfortunate. This is indeed going to be quite the difficult fight, I would say. He has very high holy resistance, as does the Elden Beast. So this will be one of our lesser damage runs yet again, similar to Malekith. Okay, we got our first riposte. Finally, something good. Oh, I can't believe we didn't dodge that properly. Yes, that was just unfortunate that we somehow didn't hit the easiest attack to dodge. Another riposte here. That's good, that's 2 now in this fight. I don't understand, we're supposed to be able to strafe that. That is not good. There we go, Tarnished. Okay. Now we can at least attempt Elden Beast. We have a couple of healing flasks. Hopefully enough to get us through the fight. But we shall see, I suppose. Okay? Not going too bad so far. I fear the worst is still yet to come, of course. Okay, we got out of that without too much issue. Now we must deal with this attack. Alright, not bad. Okay, not too bad, Tarnish. We're still doing alright. I believe he's going to do his big move again. Yes, he's doing the attack again. Okay, we got by that, no problem. That is our last healing pot, Tarnished. We have to hope we can finish him here. We can't quite get another stagger, but we're so close. We did it, Tarnished. The first try on the Elden Beast. And wouldn't you? It is possible. I, alone, without the help of you, Tarnished, can complete Elden Ring. I do not need anyone else's help. I will never ask for a Tarnished's help again. I shall simply do it myself. I will mend the Elden Ring on my own, sit upon the Elden Throne, and wear my crown. Tarnished, I want to thank you for being with me on this journey. For once, I am not your maiden, but you acted as mine. I want to thank you for believing in me, or not believing in me, and enjoying my suffering many times. But alas, we are here, we have done it, and it feels quite good. We will enjoy the rest of this cutscene now, as I ascend to the throne.
The fallen leaves tell a story of how a tarnished became Elden Lord. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Our seed will look back upon us and recall an age of fracture.
There I am, Tarnished, upon my seat.
So there you have it. Melina can beat Elden Ring by herself without the help of a Tarnished. I'd like to thank Melina for helping me out in this challenge run, and I'd like to thank you for watching. And if you like this run, be sure to comment down below and like the video, and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss future runs like this. If you want to catch me doing these runs live, you can also follow me on Twitch. Until next time, fellow Tarnished, stay maidenless.